What's happening, people? Welcome to this week's episode of the Indian Doctor Podcast. I'm Indy. He's Doctor, aka Karan. You know what? If you've made it to this many episodes, I'm going to stop doing this introduction shit. You guys should know who we are by now. It's been a while.
No.
I
like hearing my name. I like hearing you say my name, man. It's really good, man.
You like hearing me say your name? Jesus
Three
Christ,
ways.
Talk
I'm like,
about,
it's
talk
jazz.
about the
It's
ego
Dr.
stroke,
Jazz.
yeah?
Huh?
The ego stroke. I'm not.
The daddy stroke. The daddy stroke.
Daddy stroke.
Daddy
Ego stroke.
equals beard.
Ego stroke, daddy stroke, whatever you want, man. Whatever happens, I'm not stroking. Okay, cool. So anyway, it's been a couple weeks because you've had a couple guests and Goran's been busy because he's always too busy for me, but it's fine. You went and linked your boy Andy, innit? What was his name? Andy Harrington?
I had some training, yeah. I didn't physically meet him, but we had a 2-day event. So we have quarterly meetings where essentially we get together. It's all speakers, entrepreneurs, coaches, mentors, people who essentially have businesses that revolves around the advice sharing industry, some sort of service-based product.
But Goran, people aren't allowed to meet up in this time during COVID. How are you breaking rules right now, man?
That's what I said. It's not physically. We had a Zoom call for 2 days. Probably about 30 of us, and it was good, man. So we got some new marketing strategies. We were talking about sales calls, positioning, how to close, using Facebook groups. So building out Facebook groups, adding value in Facebook groups as a separate funnel to your traditional, Facebook ad funnel. So some really cool stuff. Yeah, it's really good.
Interesting. Okay. And what did you actually enjoy and pay attention to the whole 2 days, or did you zone out? Like when I'm in meetings, I'll zone out after 10 minutes, man. Even at work now, I'm like sitting there on calls and I'm like, I've noticed the moment I start paying attention, is when something important gets said, and I'm like, oh shit, I should have listened. Right? Happens to me all the time.
Absolutely.
But
2 days
I caught management doing the same thing today, and I was like, oh, okay, it's not just me this happens to. Cool. I'm glad you guys zone out too.
You said that?
Yeah, no. I thought it in my head. I didn't say that.
I
don't want to lose my job with this Siddi Gal here. I can't be losing my job over this, right?
No, I do zone out, but on these meetings, you can switch your camera off. Obviously, mic is muted, and there are kind of little mini exercises in the day. Sort of jog the memory, you get involved, you can ask questions. But yeah, I'm engaged most of the time, but it's difficult. So in between, I'll get sidetracked, do a few emails, do some other things, just multitask. I have 2 screens set up anyway. So, yeah.
So you were sat there for 2 days, literally there in that spot for 2 days?
No, not here, downstairs in the dining room. A lot more light coming in, a lot more people around, seemed a bit more social. Didn't have the special ring light on, obviously didn't need that.
Is that what you're using now, the ring light?
Special.
Turn the lights on this thing. You use the ring light?
Use the ring light. That's how it looks so good. You know what I mean?
You look the same, man. Relax.
Man, I am
no
fair
products.
and lovely.
Look at
Fair and lovely.
Even your wife was baiting you out,
based
saying
my
your
skin color. Okay.
Even your wife was baiting you out, saying your hair is trying to be the same as mine. For those of you listening, jump on the video, hit subscribe as well. But when you jump on the video, have a look and see as to what this guy's hair looks like, because mine's here, and his is there, and he's trying to copy me with his receding hairline.
Indy's my hero, and I think we mentioned.
I'm your hero. Jesus Christ!
You're my hero when it comes to hair. Although he's openly on t-shirts. You got to give you props on your t-shirts, right?
Oh yeah. So for today, Run DMC.
Run DMC.
Reppin'.
There we go. Indy's tried all the hair products in the world.
Hair products? You know what? I tried a few. Yeah.
Right.
They all do the same shit. I can't lie. Right. They're all the same thing, man. I don't understand people who buy into that marketing shit. It's literally all the same. Oh, this has argan oil. This has this oil in it. This has that in it. And I'm like, bruv, it's the same stuff, man. Does it clean my hair? Does it smell fresh afterwards? Yes. Okay. And no matter what happens, hair is gonna fall out in the bottom of the shower tray in it. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Right. Fine. It is what it is.
If we've got any hair product people listening to this podcast, and look, if you want to have an amazing before and after picture, send me some samples, right? I will try the shizzle out.
Send us some samples before it's too late.
if I look like Indy after that, then you know. Oh, funny story, yeah. So a while ago, what was it? My dad's mates, and we were at something, and they were this is when like meetups or whatever were allowed outside, and my dad's friend was a little bit tipsy, right? And he hadn't seen me in a while. He was like, He's like, oh, your beard's really long, right? And then he's looking at my head and he's like, why don't you take some beard hair from here and I put it on here, right? And the thing is, because he's drunk, like, he's been really genuine. I'm like, ha, 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 ha. Like, what do you say? What do you say to that, man?
Especially when they're drunk and they're like, no, listen to me, Karan. All you've got to do is move it around.
You listen, you doctor, man. You take from here. Glue
You put the glue on top and that's it, done.
That's it, done, man.
Oh, man.
Anyway.
It's perfect, absolutely perfect.
What else? How you been?
We had I have a story. So, and you've been involved in this, isn't it? With the enunciation of words by Punjabi people. So one of our friends, they have a family member who thought they had gangrene, yeah.
Right,
and we were all a bit worried, yeah. And I got this person to reach out to you, and I said, just have a talk to doctor, because he's my number one go-to guy, and you're talking to this person, and it turns out it's not gangrene, it's something else, isn't it, Karan?
Right. So I hear gangrene, and I'm like, shit, man, that person's foot must be.
Bro, I think gangrene is in like Bob Marley chopped his foot off, like all of that gas. That's
right,
what I'm thinking,
like the color of your t-shirt, man, that black. Black, right? Like it's about to fall off. And I'm like, shit, you need to get the patient in hospital. We need a vascular surgeon. Yes, we're thinking about, do we need to do the chop? And then I get a photo of this like healthy looking foot with this lump. And I'm like, yo, this looks like a ganglion. Gangrene? Ganglion. Not life-threatening, very life-threatening. Anyway, tell the rest of the story. So then what happened?
So hang on, tell me, what's ganglion? What actually is it?
So it's a lump and it's just a collection of nerves. It's completely benign meaning not cancerous. It's not a problem. It's just a soft little lump. If anything, it's just an aesthetic problem. A lot of people get it kind of in their arms and their wrists and their hands. If it kind of gets around those areas where it affects your function to use kind of your hands and things, yes, sometimes we sort it out. We do a little surgical operation. But if it's not causing a problem, there's nothing to worry about.
So this is why you don't send. This is why you don't send parents or people of the elder generation who don't speak English too clearly to appointments on their own, or sit there on appointments on their own, because they hear gangrene, they tell their kids start freaking out, and then people start reaching out to others, and everyone else starts getting worried. Then when a doctor finally steps in, like you, instead of having to wait a week to go and see them through the NHS, flipping, this person in particular was thinking like, oh yeah, I gotta call private hospitals, I gotta get an ASAP appointment, I gotta drop like X amount of money to get this done and sorted and get the operation done. They don't specialise in gangrene at this hospital. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, you've been through the ringer with this one, haven't you? Right? So, and then to hear it's this, and they try and tell their how do I say it? Their family member, it's not gangrene, it's ganglion, and they keep saying back gangrene. They keep saying gangrene, and it doesn't comprehend in their head as to what it is. And it's incredibly frustrating. And now it makes me think, are there any other times where like Indian parents announce something that means something completely different to what you actually think it should be? I'm sure this has happened many a time.
Many a time. And actually, the person we're talking about, I think after they sent me a very, very funny voice note where they were essentially just laughing, they said to me that even after telling the person it was ganglion, they were still unable to say the word. They were still committing to gangrene.
Yeah. Committed to the cause, man. That's what it's about.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny.
Jesus Christ, man. Ganglion, gangrene. Massive difference, similar words.
Massive difference.
What other words are there though? Like obviously there's a standard like Canada, Wolverhampton, Wolverhampton. Like all those standard ones. But when something means completely different in that way, I can't think of another parallel. Like it must just be medical conditions where they just round it up to the nearest one that they think it sounds like.
Yeah, nothing comes to mind. And guys, if you're there and you're listening to this, I bet you have hundreds of examples. When we post this out, please drop some comments.
Please drop us in the comments.
Funny ass things that people say.
Yeah, man.
Another thing which is slightly related but not really the same thing is like, diabetes, right? If I need to ask like an Asian person if you have diabetes, I'm not going to say the word diabetes because if I say, auntie, do you have diabetes? No diabetes. Right? When I say, auntie, you have the sugar? Yes. I have the sugar.
Yeah,
And the sugar means diabetes, right?
This takes us
And the
into a deeper story for you
Go
with
on.
JusReign, innit? Because you gave him the concept to do Desi Parents and Health.
Absolutely.
So tell us the story behind that, because this sort of ties in nicely, because he clearly did a skit on that, like, I have sugar, right? When the parents are trying to explain it, and it's not the same thing. But I only clocked this about 4 years later when I was watching the video back at the end. He had like a half a second shout out little clip of you and your mate Raj, right?
That's it.
And it's there. It says like, thanks to these two. And I paused it and I was like, that's Karan, right? And I had to message you and I was like, can you explain this? You're like, yeah. So go ahead, explain it.
Do you want the backdrop as to how I met JusReign?
Yeah, give me everything, man. Go from the start.
Okay. Right, Bhangra Showdown 2013. Yeah. So JusReign has been called over to be the host. UOB is performing. This is my first TBS, the Bhangra Showdown, Hammersmith Apollo guys. Check it out on YouTube. Not my best performance, but my first performance. Our captains now, Harpal, as in captains of our professional team, who are going to come on the podcast very soon, will tell you, and they continue to this day, mock me about how much I look down in the performance. So if you're a Bhangra dancer, you should be looking straight, you should be looking at the crowd. If anything, you should be looking at the judges. Me, I was just like constantly putting my head down, and they, you know, it's really funny. Just a little side story. Before we did Bhangra Wars, which is after 2013 comp, right? They sent me this photo. So you know the ride, if you guys are from the UK, Alton Towers, right? Oblivion. They sent me Oblivion meme which says, "Don't look down." This is what they sent me like a week. Yeah, like a week before the comp, and I was like, man, that's great for confidence, isn't it? But
that is brilliant.
Right, so Hammersmith Apollo, 2013, side stage, just about to go on to perform, right? And JusReign, I think Babu were both co-hosting, and then there was Rupan Bal obviously plays the mom. He was side stage, and he was just chilling, like leaning against his thing. And
I didn't know he was there. You know, I was in the crowd on that day. I didn't even know he was there.
No, because he didn't host, but he was just on the stage, backstage, side stage, and I was like, "Yo, that's Rupan," and so we started chatting, and he's like, "It's cool." So UOB, fast forward, UOB win that. We go crazy. There's an after party arranged, obviously, by Imperial. At the after party, JusReign, Babu, and Rupan are in the VIP section. And UOB, obviously, we've won with champions. We get to be in that section as well.
Oh, you get to be in the VIP section?
Yeah, for a little bit. I didn't think it was all of it, but we got in there. And essentially, I had my phone, and I went up to... It was actually... Babu. So I met with Babu. Me and Babu started chatting. I had my phone.
This is pre Dr. Jazz Mavi days. Like, you couldn't go up to him and be like, "Hey, I'm Dr. Jazz Mavi." You were like, "Oh hi, can you can you take a picture with me?
I'm the champion.
I'm a big fan."
Friends. So no, I wasn't Dr. Jazz Mavi back then. Just become a doctor actually. Had I become a doctor? No, I hadn't graduated.
You hadn't, man.
It's my final year, and I basically said, "Are you guys coming to Birmingham?" I just wrote, because it was really loud in the club, right? So you couldn't hear anything. So I wrote out a message, I was holding it to the screen. I was like, "Are you coming?"
As if he was a DJ. Like, "Can you play this song, please, on your phone?"
Yeah. And then he take the phone, type back, and he's like, we are coming to Birmingham. I said, "Right, so who are you chilling with?" He said, "No one." I said, "Right, I'll look after you. Message me when you get to Birmingham." Literally what I said, right? And then heard nothing. And then these boys hit Birmingham. And I remember it was really cold. Remember, TBS is held in like February. February in UK, guys, is like...
Yeah, it's cold, man.
February is like what you think December is. It's just like freezing. There's ice, there's snow. These guys somehow managed to be outside the Arcadian. There's like the Green Dragon Inn or something, like at the bottom of Arcadian.
I know what that is, yeah.
And they ring me up, they go, "Yo..." So their nickname for me, if you look at the end of that video, was Kid Boy. That was the nickname for me. And later I was like, "Why do you call me Kid Boy?" And they thought I was like proper Nyana. They thought I was like really young. I was like, "Dude, like..." And so he was like, "Okay." He's like, "Yo, Karan, like we got this like sweet spot. Let's call the Green Dragon. Like, can you pick us up?" And so I pick up Raj Chaudhry, one of my very good friends, in my little Corsa, right? So not the Audi days, my little Corsa. And we go there, we pick these boys up. They're in the car. But everything is closed in Birmingham, so I'm driving around. I was like, "Where should I take him now?" I picked him up. So you got a mailbox.
What day is this?
It's like a midweek random day, Tuesday, Wednesday. Where did we end up going? I can't remember. I think we may have ended up in Vicky Halls. And I had a lot of friends in Vicky Halls.
What's Vicky Halls?
University. Vicky Halls is student accommodation at University of Birmingham.
So they have friends at uni accommodation?
No, I had friends.
Oh,
So
you
I took him there, and I was like, listen, I'm bringing JusReign. I don't care what you're doing. You're revising, you're sleeping. You wake up now. JusReign's coming, right?
yeah.
And
for those
anyway,
of you who don't know, we need to give context, right? JusReign is like a famous YouTuber, basically.
Right.
He's done a lot of skit videos on Sikh people and Asians and typical habits you tend to have. He sort of stopped doing videos for the last couple of years, but he was like the big prominent content creator for Indians, along with a couple of others around the time of like the early 2010 era. That's when he started really dominating in the YouTube space. So that's why he's like super important, because at this time he was really well known.
Absolutely. I mean,
so
now
you
he's
take
got
him into
close
halls.
to
Yeah.
million subscribers now. Yeah. So we're chilling at halls, and then there was one particular day. I think we went. It was Pizza Express at the bottom of Mailbox near the canal. And so so you mentioned that he's a creative, a content creator. He always keeps this little black book with him, which I didn't know obviously till like
with phone numbers in it.
No, not phone numbers. It's just ideas, content ideas.
Oh, it's not a Dictionary like Will Smith.
No.
In the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I
And
give
he
you
gives
my
him
Dictionary.
Oh, the power! The power! I love that, man. You know what's funny about that? When you're growing up, you think Carlton is just whack, yeah. And I was like, Carlton's got so much style, got so much swag.
Yeah,
man.
You think he has
Do you know what I mean?
style?
Do you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm Carlton. I'm Carlton.
I think you're definitely Carlton, because I can imagine you in those suave jumpers. You enjoy tennis, he enjoys
Preppy.
Tennis.
That's
Like,
all
I can
preppy,
see it all, man.
I'm not gonna lie, sometimes when I jump on what's that thing, man? Pinterest, right? I'll just type in Carlton preppy outfits. I'll do a bit of research. I'm like, yes, this is what I need. Need a nice canary yellow, a nice popping baby pink.
Absolutely
popping, man. Anyway,
this is why you asked me for fashion advice to buy you t-shirts, mate. Yeah, I'll sort you out.
I've got this t-shirt. I love this t-shirt. This is bought on Honeymoon.
You mean the plainest grey t-shirt that I could find anywhere in any shop?
It's actually a green t-shirt. See, I've kind of
Shut up, no, it's not. It's grey, man. I'm not colourblind.
Shindy, what colour is this t-shirt?
The thing that's green behind you is that's green. You know
Green,
that candle. You know that candle there. That's green. You're not.
It's a different shade of green. Anyway, what's my point? So we're sitting in Pizza Express, and
so you managed to buy Pizza Express open. Okay.
This is a different day now. I can't remember what happened that day. We went to halls. I think we chilled out there. We got some food from like Rooster Hut or something. Got some pizza and stuff. Ended up chilling. But they were there for like a week or something. We took them to Mr. Singh's, and there was like a meet and greet. And actually, he celebrated Valentine's Day here as well. Like it was around that period when they were here. I remember that. So we're sitting there, and he didn't ask me like for content ideas. We were just chatting, and he was like, yo, stop. And he pulls out his book and his pen. He's like, this is good. And obviously the video wasn't made that's when he went back to Canada, he made it. So I completely forgot. And then...
so you told him and you said like, you should do a video on health.
Yeah, I was like, come on, man, this is stuff I see all the time. It's like really funny. It's like every Desi person thinks they're a doctor. Every Desi person, it's like, why ask me for my advice, man? You made up your mind anyway. You know what it is. You've done your research. Take the medicine you want to take. Like, why are you asking me, man?
Oh my days, man. It's so true. Like, mum and dad at home, I haven't told anyone this, but they've got like, there's this really
Wait. You haven't told anyone, but you're going to put it on the podcast.
I'm about to now.
Yeah, they're great, man. They're great.
So they've found this really old book, right? In this book, on the front of it, it basically says like remedies for illnesses or something. And it's all written in Punjabi, right? And I got mum to read it once. Some of the shit in it is like outrageously stupid. Like it says, in order to cure diabetes, take 2 spoons of sugar water and lemon and you'll be fine. And I'm like, what?
That's it.
That's it. Diabetes cured, man.
If you don't have the sugar, you're gonna get the sugar, man.
That's it. Yeah. If you have the flu, you take this ginger remedy or all of that. And I'm like, oh my god, man, this sounds like such bollocks.
I don't know, man. Ginger. I think in Punjabi that's adrak, right? That's like one of the main things. And there's like sauf, and there's quite a few of these things that we use so much in our cooking.
All these spices,
All these spices, ginger, man, is one of the big ones. Turmeric and ginger, I suppose.
Okay, turmeric works. I get that. Turmeric, which is haldi, that works. Yeah, I know. But
supposed to cure like all these.
But
things.
some of the stuff in there, I'm like, and mum, who's a pharmacist, is looking at me saying, this is actually real. I said, mum, you're a pharmacist. Don't do this. Don't.
Patients come into the care of pharmacy.
You're actually losing your mind.
You don't need the antibiotic. You eat the ginger with the sugar and the lemon and the pani, the water, and you'll be fine.
That's it. Everything's done, man. No problems at all.
No problem at all.
Actually
man.
mad. Okay, so that's how you met him. Wow. Have you spoken to him since?
He came again to England. After that, he came with his boy, the rapper, Fateh, young Fateh.
Fateh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, so I met Fateh because he was doing some work at Dr. Zeus. So at that time, I was at my daddy's house, grandmother's house, and he rang me up and he goes, "Yo, like, Karan, like, we're in the UK, we're in Birmingham, you want to link?" So I was met him, we went to Bullring, we walked around. I actually got stopped. People were like, "Oh, I know you from the like videos." I was like, "You're famous?" And I was like, I don't know.
What video is this?
No videos exactly, but they're like, "We recognize you." I'm going to say no. I was like, yes.
Yes, I am him. Yes,
I'm with him. I'll tell you one thing that's really interesting. So when you're with the guy, so I didn't call him JusReign. Like literally, that was I didn't know him, met him, just meet. It's really weird. You can't call him JusReign when you know the guy.
Yeah.
Because it's just like no one calls him like. Well, I guess the people do, but like when he's a real person, it just feels much easier to be like.
Did you not call him Jesse or anything?
Nah, just meet. Just I don't know. Maybe it's because the videos I was conditioned to like just meet.
Yeah.
Dance now. I mean, the first like hour, me and him meeting Raj, we were just doing impressions.
Yeah.
And then these guys were like, "You really know the content," and we were like, we are medics, okay?
We studied it, my friend.
We have studied it, right? I'm gonna do a little bit now, right? I do this with Qatar, and it just has him absolutely balling. So there's a bit where JusReign does baby JusReign when he wears like a little parka and he goes around. Yeah. And you're like, "Oh, my mom and my dad, I went to the cinema, like, my dad and my mom, like, oh my god, why is this like a goatee on your head? This strange uncle trying to kiss me, like."
Oh man, it's so spot on, and he's there with like the little shoes on the floor, and just like put his knees in the shoes to make him look like a small kid. Oh man, he's so good at it. You should get him on the podcast, man. You've been holding out on me. What you doing?
That would be good. I mean, I know. Well, I've heard stuff that he's launched or struck a deal with Russell Peters.
Did
That's
he?
Big news.
Mad.
Yeah, I heard that. So some big things. Absolutely, man. I know we got to get him on here. We got to get Lily on here. We've got to get So Hilarious on here. We got to get AK on here. We get all these content creators, man. We got to get them all on here, man. AK, Sonny's boy, man. We can sort that out.
I know he is checking all his content, checking his comments and liking it and stuff. I'm like, yeah, okay. Asking Sonny for a collab and that. I'm like, ooh, acha. Okay, Sonny, I see you. Man's moving out a little bit. But yeah, going back to the main topic, which is the mispronunciation of is that a word? Mispronunciation?
Yeah, absolutely.
How people just say words wrong, man, it's actually mad. Like I never noticed how severe it actually is until today happened. So,
yeah, there's a very like important thing in medicine which we get taught, which is like, say a patient comes in, right? Say you come in, Indy, and you come and see me, and I'll say, okay, so what's the problem? I'm trying to find out what your symptoms are. You may say a word, like a medical word, which means something to you, but means completely something different to me as a doctor. So my perspective, your perspective. So what we teach our new doctors is that you need to question and establish the baseline. So when you Mr. Indy, when you say you're having a palpitation,
Mr. Indy, huh? Okay.
Mr. Indy, right? What does that mean? Tell me what that means to you. So I have to check your understanding. No, I'm not asking you. I'm not like putting you on the spot. I'm just saying, like, say you'd come with that symptom, then I have to check your understanding to make sure it's the same as the medical understanding. Because sometimes, obviously, people read their own stuff and think things or say things, but it's not that. They like people come in and the ambulance chief will say, "Oh, person passed out." Right. So pass out is a big thing in medicine, right? To completely pass out. Then you speak to him like, "Did you pass out?" He's like, No. I felt a bit dizzy and I sat down. But did you lose consciousness? No, I didn't lose consciousness. So there's no collapse. There's no pass out. Like there's completely two different things. So establishing facts, right? Establishing so that you're on the same plane in terms of language and understanding, really, really, really important.
Okay.
Okay.
Even in the English language though, like I was talking to a couple of people and I've noticed that they say things incorrectly. Like, for example, bought and brought. Like I bought that, aka I purchased it. I brought that, aka I've taken that with me and brought it along to this event, or I've taken it with me to this event. Right.
So both correct words, but they're using it in the wrong context.
Yes, they were just mixing them up. And I was like, oh, okay. So I guess it's a common thing in the English language as well. It might just be like a thing that's a crossover well into Punjabi language, maybe.
Yeah, possibly. Another one I get sometimes is, Shindy tells me off sometimes. So when I'm doing motivational speaking, The phrase I should be saying is, do you want to? Right? That's the phrase, but I'll say, do you wanna?
What's wrong with that?
Well, it's not want to, is it? It's not a real word. Wanna isn't a real word, but it's just kind of mashed together.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Be your highest, truest, authentic self, Dr. Jazz.
Listen. It's not time for Dr. Jazz bingo, right? Yeah, so it's not time for that today.
I'm saying your own words back to you, mate. Right? If you want to say wanna, you can say wanna.
I'm honoured and flattered that you take the time, and actually the social conditioning is happening in your brain now that you actually know my content.
Garan, I spend so much time with you. I think I spend more time with you than I do with some of my family. Honestly, it's actually a bit wild when I think about it.
It's an honour to be in your.
Be honest with me, yeah. Do you actually miss wedding season?
In what sense? What
do you miss going to weddings? Do you miss going to do you miss losing a whole weekend of shit? All of that. Like, I personally don't.
What I will say,
I don't miss it at all.
Is I don't go to as many weddings as you think I may go to. That's the first thing, right? So I'm super selective.
Why are you selective? Okay, tell me how you're selective about it, because normally, you know, right, we're sort of forced to go to some. Like, mum and dad were like, oh, you got to go to this one with me. You don't want me to go alone, do you? They were asking about you, and I was like, number one, they didn't ask about me. Number two, they don't know what I look like. They remember me 15 years ago, right? And number three, I don't want to go.
I love that line in the middle. They were asking about you.
About you.
How is he doing? What's he doing with his life? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. And I'm like, oh, cool. Thanks, man. I really missed out on a 5-second conversation. Thanks.
Here's my filter for how I decide to go to weddings, right? If I'm not going to be one of the last people on the dance floor when everybody's left, the DJ's packing up, drop in bed care. I'm in my mind now, I'm thinking about Karta's brother's wedding. Ripping my pant.
Yeah.
Right? We're doing squats, ripping my pant. Harpal's pre-wedding, Harpal's mum coming up to Harpal saying, is your friend drunk? And Harpal being like, he's never had a drink in his life. Right? if I'm not going to be one of those guys, I am not going to the party, the wedding, full stop. So, am I getting ready for your wedding? Absolutely, right? I'm looking forward to that, right? And then obviously, if you still want me to be the MC, then I've got some good shit lined up.
If possible, but I don't even know how the wedding's going to look right now, man.
Well,
it depends on numbers.
If it happens, and it can happen, I'm going to have like a proper mic. I'm going to be walking around. There's going to be a gong. There's going to be challenges like the Hunger Games, the Indie Games, right? There's going to be so many things going on.
Indie Games.
You wait, man. I've got so many things.
I hope your wife stops you, man. Seriously, from going wild. So, in a nutshell, you do miss it.
I missed close ones, right? So really good friends, really close family, because.
But you know that there's only a finite number of those, right?
But
then,
absolutely.
Okay. What if it's Shindy's friend's wedding? Do you go with her?
Yes. It depends on the friend.
But then again, you're not going to be the last person on the dance floor, are you?
Absolutely, my friend. But this is called husbandly duties, right?
See, I knew you had something in you that was definitely going to be caught out. Definitely.
That being said, 2019. So I've spent 7 days in Cancun, spiritual kind of like retreat. I come back on a Saturday. Sunday, there was a wedding in Shindy's side of the family. Right? It's in Nottingham. It's the same hall where Shindy's sister got married as well. So I remember that from a couple of years ago. And, I kind of let loose on the dance floor, just went a bit ham.
Of course you did.
To the point where there was a dude, right, he does a bit of Bhangra dancing on the side. His wife came up to Shindy and said, my husband wants to dance with your husband, is that okay?
That sounds like some very, very camp thing to say, just to put it nicely, bro. My husband would like to dance with your husband.
So this guy, and I'll paint the picture. When I see him, he looks like Jagmeet Singh, the leader of the NDP party. Has the same beard, has the same star, like shape and everything. His name's Paul,
bug,
right? Same bug, and I was like, yeah, he can dance with me, and that's it, man. So I laid the smack down, and
lay the smack down.
The rest is history. Even in February, right? So this is the thing you'll notice as a Bhangra dancer, you don't actually want to go to a family event and just keep dropping Bhangra.
No, I don't. I never want to do it at all functions. I hate doing it. The only time I will do it.
And why? Why do you hate it?
The only time I will do it is if the boys are doing it and we're doing a set, Or if some of us are doing like a little bit together, fine. But if I'm at an individual event, everyone looks at me. Everyone knows that I do Bhangra. Everyone knows I know. Like,
Right.
oh, go and dance for me, bitch. And I'm like, no, fuck off, man. I ain't dancing for you. Right? I don't want to dance for you. I'm not exactly here for fun enjoyment. I'm here because I'm probably being asked to by someone else, right? Or I'm not that close with the person getting married. Why would I want to show up and take the spotlight away from them? That's just rude.
See, that is really awkward, man. Because if you're asked to dance with the groom or the bride, and then you show them up, and they're trying
don't
to
wanna
like,
do it.
It's their day, and they're trying to copy your moves, and you're like, mate, you ain't never gonna do these moves, right?
Yeah.
So then you basically make it basic, man. You go some slow ass jummer, right? You do 1 2 1 2. Like, mate, you can copy this as well, right? But so February 2020, just pre-lockdown, we had a close family wedding. And it's kind of like the end of the party. We're the girl side. We're getting to the end of the party just before the girls just about to leave. I'm sitting down, I'm chilling, I'm nowhere in the dance floor. DJ, yo, we're going to do dance off, boys versus girl side. Ooh, and all this stuff, right? And I know this is like, I get dragged in it. Like, okay, you need to...
All of a sudden, you started salivating. You were like,
No,
yes.
so I'm chilling. Now the boys side...
No, you're not, man. The second you heard dance off, everyone went like, turn around, head.
Where's Karan?
Where's Karan?
No, literally, that's what it was. And I was like, I'm not going to dance floor, right? But the boys' side, they're a bit cocky. So the boys' side, the groom's friends are a load of kind of like Desi builders. So they're like giving it a bump, right? They're like, yeah, Sanu Bhangra, and they're like proper like kind of dancing.
Yeah.
And so they get me to dance floor, take off my shoes, take off my socks. They get scared.
Take off your shoes and socks, Karan. The only time I've ever done that is when I'm performing a set at someone's wedding. I don't do that very often.
These loafers, like, you just don't want to ruin them. Like,
you don't want to ruin them, do you? You're one of those guys. Okay. You're very
DJ's
particular
like,
about
what
your shoes.
song do you want? DJ's like, I'm not watching. I was like, I'm thinking, like, what song should I have? So, original, old school one, Notorious Judge, Ambassador mix. I was like, put this tune on, put this banger on. He's getting it ready. I'm there, like, at the start of the set when we do a couple of, like, kind of bare to warm up.
Yeah.
Right? So I start doing like a few of those just to stretch, and then the dance off, the builder guys' friends are like, oh yard, this Bhangra anda, like they were like saying, oh, he knows Bhangra.
He knows how to
like,
dance.
really scared. Yeah. And then music hit, and I just dropped it, and the rest is history, man. So
the rest is history.
What can
Where's
I say?
your medal, Karan? Where's your medal?
Exactly, man. Just ripped up the dance floor, and did not rip up my pant. Good result. Okay?
How many times have you
Good
torn
result.
your pants dancing at someone's wedding? I think it's 3 times, isn't it?
Twice.
Twice.
Yeah.
I remember the time you ripped it and you stopped dancing. You're like, okay, I can't do anymore.
I got my jacket, tied it around, and was like, okay, it's time to go home now.
It's home time now. And did your mum manage to fix him or sum him up?
It was I took it to my tailor, Alex. I was like, Alex, double, triple stitch, man. Like, I'm gonna be doing Bhangra in these again, so this needs to like.
The way to do it, Karan,
expensive
is
trousers,
you wear wear stretch chinos, right?
Right.
You have to wear stretch chinos, or if you're gonna do a set, you have to change into those. Like, take them with you in the car, and then put them out and change in the bathroom quickly, and then come back out.
Or you wear chadar.
Yeah. Oh my God! Imagine wearing like, basically a chadar is like a sheet, right, that allows you to move freely. But imagine the bottom half of you is basically like a bed sheet, yeah, and the top.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, a bed sheet.
And the top of you is basically a guy in a suit and tie.
yeah, that's wicked. I actually thought on my wedding, that set you guys did on the black tie event, how cool it would have been if you had bow ties.
It wouldn't have been.
Lapelled tuxedo jackets, and then you got some chadars on.
It wouldn't have been.
That would have been.
Why didn't you get one of the boys to Photoshop it so you can see it and see how bad it would have looked?
Why don't we do your wedding and then we'll see it?
Why don't we not do it at my wedding? Because I'm not up for that.
The MC will decide on which events are happening.
I regret giving you the power of MC, man. Isn't it your sister's wedding soon? How are you feeling about that? What's that going to look like?
Yeah, the countdown is now on. Someone was asking me yesterday, and he was like, it's kind of like a bitter, sweet moment, isn't it? It's like, you're obviously happy. I'm very happy. But then, she's going to a new phase of her life, and just so many memories, so many memories growing up. And just recently, we've been playing a lot of Halo. So if you don't know what Halo is, an Xbox.
She plays Halo?
Yeah, we've been playing that for time, man. Like, when she went to uni, she used to people used to come to flat, the boys used to come to flat, play Halo, and she'd just like kick everyone's ass.
Seriously?
But, yeah. And
Right,
but
Lady
obviously
Gamer, man, they're rare.
Yeah. We love the original Halo. So like
Halo 1.
One's been it's been remastered for the Xbox One with new maps and new graphics. We've been redoing the levels, and just yeah, man, it's. My
I never
brother
had
was
you
really
down
cool.
as a gamer, Karen. Damn, you never play games. I thought you're too focused on life.
No. I'd say what's interesting is that Sunny and Manny and Katara always on Warzone and whatever Call of Duty.
Yeah,
So
I
back
joined
in-
them, bro. Right.
Oh, you do? Oh, right. You're one
Yeah,
of
I'm
those
a
guys.
part of
as
it.
well.
I'm a
Right,
part
right.
of it. Yeah.
You wait till you get married, man. This is everything. Bye bye. Thank you.
I'm aware of that. Everything's gonna
Sell your
stop,
console.
yeah. I think I've only hopped on the hype though because I can't go anywhere. I can't go and do.
Yeah.
I can't go out. I can't do anything. So I think it might only be like a weekends only thing as soon as everything opens up again. Because in my evenings, you know me, I always go out and about. Like, I enjoy that.
Always climbing up something, aren't you?
No, mate.
Spider
I'll climb up the
thing.
car if you give me a chance, man. Let's go.
Spider thing.
Spider thing. Yes. So otherwise, you're feeling okay about it. Yeah, you're not gonna get too emotional. You're not gonna cry too many tears, are you?
We'll see. I'm writing the speech.
You're writing a speech. Oh, man.
Yeah. I'm doing the speech. So
How many people are
Got a
going
few-
to it?
just what's the limit? 15. So it's 15. Yeah.
Hmm.
Bang on. We've got a live pianist and cellist who you've seen because they were at my event in 2017. So they're coming out again, and I'm going to get a piece where they play a piano piece while I'm doing the speech to make it a little bit more emotive. So this weekend, the bank holiday weekend, I've got a few wedding related tasks to do. I've got to sort the garden speakers. I'm working with Harvey, sound control, and we're just queuing some entrance music. What else? And then I've got to sort the speech out. So a couple of wedding tasks to do, but feeling good.
Very good. And is she moving down to where her husband's going to be straight away?
Sort of.
Or is she going to like spend half
straight
time, half here?
No, straight. Well, that's a funny point. She has like a master plan. She's like, so I'm getting married, but I'm going to be here every other week, Wednesday to Sunday. I was like, well, it's not like you can get married, is it? And the husband's like, yeah, it's fine. Kenny, Kenny, and Kenny's like, yeah, I'll come down as well. And so it's good. They got their own space, got their own pad. They're going to be very, very happy together.
Good, man. Good. I'm glad to hear it. So, with the Raj podcast, do you remember the topics where he sort of just put you on the spot a little bit about your MO?
Why?
Yeah.
So, like,
yeah.
why?
Yeah. Why? And the worst thing is, right, I'm sitting there and I'm like, Goran, you're rambling. And I can see that you're rambling. But then he was talking and I could just see in his eyes, he was unfazed and he was like, why?
Yeah. In that voice.
Just good measure. And I was like, I've been on the receiving end of that from him before. And I was like, oh, okay, this is what it's about. Okay, fine.
No, a very, very cool guy on Hamza. He's obviously experienced at a high level than me. So to be in that kind of atmosphere is exactly what I want. I want to be around people who have been playing the game at a high level than me, and understand that mindset to do those things. So I look forward to post-wedding to getting into a deep conversation with him.
Yeah,
to
man.
unlock some of these things.
If you guys aren't aware about the podcast we're talking about, it was a previous episode 13. Go and check that out. It was definitely, I think we both agree that it's the best podcast that we've done today. Just with the amount of information that he gave us and the stories he told us that were just insane. And none of it was lies or bullshit. They're all verified and true. Like, trust me, man, it's mad. Definitely go and listen to it if you guys haven't already. But you mentioned a point in there, Goran, where you said there's like a barrier to entry, isn't there, with like getting to know people in your space, or like people at a higher level where they don't want to know you on like a personal level. Tell me more about that, because I think you were saying it wasn't a thing that really connected with you until you noticed that somebody's breaking it down to basic terms like our Raj was, and just gives you like, try this, try that, try this, try that.
Yeah, so it was obviously there's people you admire in your space, people you look up to, people who are kind of leaders of the industry, or an authority, and obviously there's what they. This isn't true for all people, but for some people they're what they show, and therefore you perceive them to be a certain way, and then you get into kind of the closer to the inner circle, and you see that really they're not that personable, or they're kind of socially awkward, or I've had this with a couple of people recently. Where it's like, oh, you put content out and you like seem like this happy chappy guy, and then you speak to you like real, and it's not the same thing, and so they they have two versions of themselves. They're clearly not in line with their authentic self, or they're presenting a different part. But obviously, and if it doesn't benefit me to be in that space, then it doesn't matter. But sometimes when they have a skill set which I'm trying to learn, then building rapport can sometimes feel like it's one way. That was the kind of thing. So what Raj is alluding to is patience. That's the thing we took away, is it takes patience to build these long-term things, but you got to keep at them and keep adding value to both sides of the relationship, and eventually it will happen. And if not that person, then maybe you'll be introduced to somebody else who'll add that value that you need.
So are you thinking with like your mentor Andy that you don't have like a personal relationship with him or anything, or he's just not open to it?
No, Andy's good. Andy, what I admire about Andy is he's very straight talking. So for example, we're creating a funnel at the moment, which is a webinar based funnel, right? And my slides went through 3 drafts, which is quite good apparently. So a lot of people, they take a lot more drafts, but like the things he doesn't like, he'll tell me about, this isn't good, this is what you need to do. There's no fluff, which is what I really like. And you remember the early part of the podcast when I was talking about these kind of fake gurus who sell stuff, courses, upsells, right? What I say about Andy is, although he charges like a premium price, he offers immense value. So the 2 days there, like I spent with him, it's just like he just shares his knowledge. Like he doesn't coat it in a way where it's like, I'll give you a little bit, I'm going to sell you something else. Like once you're in like his premium stuff, like I'm in that kind of level now, then actually stuff he's telling you is what he's using. Like he's using it, he tests it, he's like, use this, these are my results. But prior to that, like I said, prior to being with him, I've been to a few other coaches, and it's just been a bit like wishy-washy, tangible stuff, and it's an interesting space. Like even yesterday I was watching a debate with Indy. There's a guy, a YouTuber called CoffeeZilla. Maybe we should get him on the podcast, actually be interesting. So
who is he?
CoffeeZilla has he's an American dude, and there's only like him and one guy from Wigan, Mike Winnett, who've made it their kind of passion to expose some of these people that sell these high-level courses, or high-ticket courses, to be like, how much value actually is there in this, or are they just promising you silly returns like you're going to be really rich, or you're going to get this, and this in 90 days when it's not realistic. So yeah.
Add them onto the list, man. I want to talk to that person and see how they do it and what they've done behind it.
Yeah, I'll share a video with you, and anybody watching. It's a really good, kind of informative short video made by Mike Winnett called the Contrepreneur Formula. So
Contrepreneur, that's catchy, man. I like that.
It's really catchy, and actually, I think we talked about on the last podcast about the price ending in 7.
Yeah.
So like that, he talks about all the other kind of science around how most people sell in the industry, around this kind of stuff. Definitely
send it over to me, man. I love shit like that. It's like catfish, but in real life, right?
Yeah, exactly. And what was good about yesterday is basically, so this guy had made a video about a guy, but then he invited him onto his YouTube channel to do a live debate. And it's pretty good. Like the guy was like, okay, so what do you think that I'm doing that's fake? And then he'd say something, and then he'd present an argument. They're not arguing or anything. It's like, it's moderated and everything, and it's really good. So fair play to that guy who came on. It's like, I'm not selling fake stuff.
He's not selling fake stuff, or he is?
No, he's not. Well, I haven't looked into it enough, but like this guy's particular product was around affiliate marketing, so multi-level marketing, and it was teaching people how to do that. I haven't watched the full thing yet. I'm still watching it, but it was good. It was a good debate, and it's good that the person is willing to come on. Because if you're not, then obviously you've got something to hide, right? Or if you get like offended by this guy chatting shit about me, or being perceived to chat shit about me. But that's the nature of social media, of YouTube now.
Nah, MLM's a real thing, man. I got caught in one of those back in the day.
Go on, tell me about it.
Yeah, I got caught in this. So it was like,
what were you selling?
Like the whole, huh? It was this energy drink called Vima. Yeah, bro.
Whoa! That's really famous.
Yeah, bro. I got caught in that shit. Yeah,
dude. Right,
great.
You need to go on YouTube. Right, the guy who kind of, there's a young guy.
BK Barreto.
Was it him? But they had a guy called Bob Proctor who's basically aligned with this brand, and he promoted it. Right, Bob Proctor is really big in the kind of personal development space, and there are lots of videos about him and what he does, being a bit kind of pseudoscience. But they were talking about this Vima model.
Bro, I got caught in this shit, man. It was horrible. Like the end of third year, we got really chuck about it and excited about it. Like yeah.
Right, just before we carry on, just explain to listeners what is multi-level marketing. What's the
multi-level marketing? It's it's basically a pyramid scheme, but a smarter version of a pyramid scheme. Okay. So it works with like a weird thing. It's sort of an affiliate marketing thing where it's like, oh, if you sell something and if I'm selling something, in order for you to get on board with this, you have to buy some product. Yeah. So you'll buy some product, but then you're going to be beneath me on my right leg or left leg. So imagine everything's like a decision tree. So you've got like, if you have a question, you have an answer yes or no. So it splits up in two directions, right? The same thing happens in multi-level marketing. So I've got to put you on one side of me, and then I've got to build somebody else out on the other side of me. And then it works like that as a spider. It keeps going down and down and down and down and down. Now, the only person that benefits from this sort of scheme is somebody at the very top, right? The lower down you get, the more wishy-washy it gets, because there's not enough people in the world for it to work. Now, the first person that starts off at the top is going to make a shit ton, which is how it works. But then beneath that, you start getting people on that are friends, etc. Tell them, you know, you can be your own boss, you can be your entrepreneur, all these things, like just selling them the fucking dream. Yeah. And it's like, oh, okay. And then I got caught in it. I came home, I told my brother about it. He's like, you're a fucking idiot. You shouldn't have done it. I was like, whoops.
How much did you invest?
I didn't even invest it, you know. Here's the thing. One of my mates said, oh, I'll spot you. I was like, yeah, cool. I paid him back eventually, right? But it was only about like 100 or 200 quid.
Yeah. Then what were you told to do after that?
You then have to get other people on board with it and get people on it. And then you have to go and recruit people. Yeah. It's like a religion, isn't it? It's like a religion.
Yeah. It's so, like, I got this drink. I got this drink.
Yeah, and people were like saying outlandish shit like, yeah. So this drink can stop. This drink can prevent cancer. And I was like, oh my God, man. As soon as I heard that, more and more got more and more. You were selling
it at the pharmacy, weren't you?
No, I wasn't selling it at all. As soon as I got home, right, I told my brother, and he's like, it's a scam. And I was like, no, it's not. And he's like, it's a scam.
So you're a believer. You are a believer, man.
I was like, no, it's not. And then he's like, it's a scam. And I was like, it might be a scam, right? So then when I got it back, I got the product, and then I said, let me just send this shit back. So you send it back, and I got the majority of my money back, but only like about £20 was like lost overall. And they said, oh, if you send this back, you can't enroll in this for like another year. And I was like, yeah, that's fine.
Great success.
Cool. Right? So sent that back. I got my money back, but then there were a few people who were basically really good salesmen, and what they did was they would sell out, not even sell out, just stock out their local town hall with like a bunch of people and get them on board with it. And I've seen like moderation of this happen nowadays, and I'm like, oh, I've seen people post about it on the Instagram and stuff, and I'm like, it's like a mystery. So they'll frame it, be like, mentoring tonight, meeting tonight. And I'm like, what are you meeting about? And then they tell you, 5, and they're like, and they're telling you like, it's a really great idea. Basically, this is the product. You can do this, you can do that. I got a meeting pitching to people. I'm like, it's a scam. I'm like, I've fallen victim to this in the past. It's a scam. They're like, no, it's not. And I'm like, ugh. Don't really know how to tell you this, mate.
When you say it's a scam,
let you carry on.
What do you mean? Because there is a real product there.
There is a real product there, right?
What's the scam?
But there's a ceiling, and also not everyone's going to be a great salesman for you, and not everyone's going to buy the products. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it a scam. So if you're a good salesman, you can make a lot of money from it.
If you're a good salesman, no, you can't make a lot of money off it. You can make some money off it. So there's basically tiers, right? The way that this one worked was they gave you like 15 tiers that you could hit, and the top tier was like you get your own like, what was it? Like a boat or some shit. Right. And I was like, what? I think it was a boat. I could be making this up, but like the levels were like, you know, you slowly get more and more, and you start getting like some money come back to you in like dividends or something at the end of the month, and then you get your own car with like the logo on the side and all this shit. And I was like, wow. And a lot of those guys that I met then, I've researched them recently, and they're all not doing it anymore, and they're all doing normal shit. And I go through their like LinkedIn, and it's not there, and I was like, it's a blip in your life. But they were like deep in there for months. I'm in it to win it. I want to get to this car. I want to get the car, etc. And I'm like, oh man, you guys got fully into it.
Absolutely. And I remember, I think I can tell you where I was.
It is a scam. If anybody thinks they're in a multi-level marketing thing, please just Google it and see what it is. It'll give you a better breakdown. There's much better examples of what they are and how to spot them before you listen to me. I'm giving a really shit example of it, but I'm just telling you my experience in it. But it's basically a new version of the pyramid schemes nowadays. Because pyramid
Yeah,
schemes could get you jailed back in the day, but now it's not.
The differentiation between the MLM and say a pyramid scheme or what we call a Ponzi scheme
Ponzi scheme
is when people don't have a physical product or service to sell. That's how they differentiate, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what makes it legal. The problem is it will consume all your time, right? So yes, you have to have these, building teams and getting them to recruit for you and building up levels. In theory, like when they present it, in theory, it sounds like it's really good, but actually the time needs to do it. And if you don't have regular income coming in, then obviously you're going to be in a crap position. Even if you do have regular income and you want to use it as a side hustle, yeah, maybe, but again, it's going to take up a lot of your time. And I was at Mailbox. There was a hotel, AC Hotel, I think it's called. It's just on the top bit. And I was meeting somebody there for something else, and then I met a guy, just happened to be there, a really well-dressed guy. And this is what he pitched me. He was like, yeah, he's like, yo, Bob Proctor. Like, so we had a bit of similarity. So Bob Proctor, the Vimo, there you got Bob Proctor, this really prominent old guy.
Vima. Put some respect on his name, Karan.
Vima, right? He endorsed this product. He endorsed it. Right? And he's been in personal development for like 40, 50 years. He's a big proponent of law of attraction, all that kind of stuff. And so he was like, right, so I got this product. And he pulls it out. He's like, it's this, I think it was energy, what do we call that thing we go before Bhangra we used to take? Pre-workout.
Pre-workout,
Yeah, it's like one of these pre-workout types of things. And he was like, so this is what do you do? What's your business funnel? What's your strategy? So like every Wednesday, they were having regular meetings, like you said, in a hotel, getting people there, and then selling them into this thing, which the entry level is not that expensive, like you said. It's only like £100 or something, and then the top level is like $1,000 or something. But
but then it's like more product you buy, the more you have to like invest in. Basically, if you can go onto YouTube, type in John Oliver multi-level marketing, and he does this great 15-20 minute sketch on all of them. I'm talking Herbalife, Vima, all of them. And he just rips it apart, man. And I'm like, fuck me, he's so good at it. He gives you live examples of everything. He's done his research on it because he has a whole team behind him, right? That just research it all, do the topic and put it out there. I think it's definitely on YouTube, so have a look at it and try and find it. But check that out for sure to understand more about this. But it's weird how they can target people that are vulnerable, that don't have much. And you're like, oh, it's only £100. All I've got to do is just put the amount of time you put in is what you get out. Like all those cliche mottos and shit that you're fed, you really tend to listen to it. I was only in it for like a week, innit? So I'm quite happy about that.
You became woke in a week. That's good.
Oh
man.
yeah, 100%.
You're right. It's the small entry, so a small barrier to entry. Number one, and number two, the promise. CEO, Chairman 5000, boat like Wolf of Wall Street. Like all this stuff. It's the promise, isn't it? I could be this person. Because ultimately, what do people want? People want to be valued. Yeah, I remember Tony Robbins saying something really interesting. He was like, if you think about a terrorist, right, who kills people, let's say in the Middle East somewhere, why is it they're killing people? And he was like, you got some people who live in a desert, got no purpose in life, no authority, not valued. You put a gun in their hands. That's my gun. They feel valued. They have power now. People will listen to them. So ultimately, that's what everybody wants to feel respected, have some authority, have some power.
And like they're in power for sure, yeah.
Right? And so this plays directly into that. Like you said, you're going to be your own boss. Pick your hours. Mate, if you're picking your hours but you ain't getting no money, what is the point picking your own hours? Go and get a job. And Indy, I'm a big point. I have businesses and things, but I always say to people who come to me and have business ideas and things, Jazz, I want to be an entrepreneur. I say, listen, you're not going to, like this whole thing about just go all in, man. Like, just no. Unless you've got like 6 months to a year's worth of savings and you want to do it that way, the advice I give people is you need to bridge, right? So you need to be in your job, working on your side hustle and bridge between the two until you get to a point where actually you can reduce the work, let's say. You still get an income from there and you can work more on your hustles or your businesses, whatever. And you can get to the point where you completely leave one for the other. Or you can do like a hybrid or a fusion, and that's what I champion. I like that approach. So I like to have my businesses. I like doing podcasts with you, but I still like being a doctor, and I like the variety, the spice of life. Yeah.
Yeah. Who do you know that's been involved in this MLM thing? Make me feel better, please, so I don't feel like I've been duped into stupidity.
No, I don't know anyone who's been involved in MLM.
Shit, okay,
I know about them, and like I said, someone positioned it to me as well. And I was just like, yeah, this isn't going to work. Because again, it's not. And here's the thing, right? Look, I have products, my coaching programs, they range between £2,000 and £10,000. Right? So I'm better served with something that I own, that I know, that I deliver on, spending my time trying to sell that to people, rather than running around trying to sell someone else's product for like £100. Like, it's just, it doesn't add up. You know, all that time, it's not my product, I don't know it. Much better use of time.
Okay. I see you sniffling a lot. What's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. No, I'm not. I had my second vaccine yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just a bit hot in here. Maybe that's why my nose is getting congested. Had the second vaccine yesterday. Came back, did gym.
Which one?
With Jamie.
AstraZeneca or
Pfizer. Despite the vaccine did PBs, right? So, you know, listen, when you get all your twinges and your aches, you think about that, man, right? Second vaccine in the gym, PB, right? There you go. I had a friend today. He was like, "What's PB?" And I was like, "Yo, it means personal best, man." Like, you know, the gym term. If you're in the gym, you know what it means. He's not in the gym.
You know what I find hilarious, right? You're all of a sudden this fucking gym expert.
Gym guy.
You're like, yeah. I'm the guy that goes to the gym. I do this, and this. And I'm like, okay, Karen, okay.
Big man.
Welcome to the club. So you had the vaccine. How's your arm? Is it hurting?
Arm is it's okay. A little bit. It was a little bit sore this morning. Yesterday, you know, before bed it was okay. Woke up in the morning. I was like, yo, I'm fine. And then at 10, 11 o'clock on the ward round, I was like, ooh. Like, my head got a bit muggy. Called my nurses, I was like, Ash, give me some paracetamol. Had some paracetamol, ibuprofen. Cracked on with the day. Lower back pain, kind of a few body aches.
Oh, okay, man, yeah. I remember those when I had it.
Right? So this is obviously a fraction of that. By tomorrow should be fine. I got another gym session tomorrow. Need to hit those PBs again. So, you know. There you go, buddy.
No
How's your training going?
All good, man.
Yeah.
Looking forward to things opening up so I can train with them 1-to-1. See how it goes. I miss climbing, man. I'm more excited for that than anything else. You're gonna
2
weeks time, man. I'm gonna be all over it.
I'm thinking of M. Shyamalan's film. Glass, is it? Oh, what's it called? You know which film I'm on about?
Yeah, I know which one. I'm not gonna tell you the name of it.
Right, but that film, and the guy who plays Professor X in the young. Oh, what's his name? I can't remember his name.
Let me Google it. Hang on. Wait there.
So, guys, in X-Men, I think it's First Class. We have
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable is the name of the film.
Unbreakable is the original, and then the other one is Split.
Split, right?
Split.
So you know that guy when he becomes the Beast.
Right? He just starts climbing up.
Climbing the horse. That's you. That's you in lockdown.
That film is one of the most unsatisfying things I've ever watched in my life. I went to watch that film in the cinema with a mate on a Sunday night. I watched it. I came out and I felt fucking depressed, man. I was like, "This is so. Why did I do that?" I went home, had to watch something happy before I went to bed, and I left my mate and I was like, "Oh, all right, I'll chat to you soon, bro." This sucked, right? It's a proper unsatisfying film and ending. Like, you're just like, "Oh, okay." Nothing nice happens in it. It's just pure depression.
I can't remember. I know there's like a big fight scene at the end and someone dies. I can't remember anything else. But
I only saw Unbreakable and I didn't see I didn't see Unbreakable. I saw Split. That was the one that was unsatisfying. I didn't watch the full trilogy, so Unbreakable was the other one. I didn't see it.
You're the beast, though. That's all that needs to be said here.
Thanks.
You climb walls and things, and I've seen you climb things. You climb on your car, and that's it. Climb on my house.
Why don't you come climbing with us one day, Karen?
Yeah, I think you're in a better position now. Wednesdays.
I'll be honest with you, yeah. The boys have been talking shit about you. They're like, "Oh, Garan, he doesn't do anything he's not good at." So maybe you should disprove this theory and come.
Wait. Let's get into that. That's quite an interesting statement. Who said that specifically?
I'm not saying names.
Why? What are you scared of?
Because I genuinely can't remember who said it, right? But I remember it being said.
That's straight lies. I'm gonna get onto it. Right. Let's do a recap here. It's a recap right here.
Okay.
So, tennis, table tennis, badminton, pool, Bhangra, cricket, hockey for 7 years. The things I don't play are football. I don't climb. So you tell me what I.
Why don't you climb?
Because I have no interest in it.
we didn't have any interest in it either until we tried it.
That's fine. Do all you guys run businesses? Do you do public speaking? Do you do all the things
No.
I do? No.
No, I don't.
I don't make any comments about it. Siddigal, right? Siddigal, yeah.
Oh, he's so hurt.
It's okay.
Cute.
It's okay. I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna send a message out after this podcast. I'm like, who said this bullshit, man? Come say it to my face, yeah. No, so I want to ask you. I'm gonna ask them all.
Go ahead, ask him.
Ask your climbing crew.
With your little champagne glass, yeah. What's going on with the mugs, Karan? The mugs.
Yeah, well, we not had any comments, man. You guys are slacking, okay? What is it you want printed on the mugs that best serves what we talk about? Siddigal is up there, right? That's the prominent, is the leader at the moment. Maybe indeed.
I think it's the leader that you want, isn't it? I haven't actually said anything. I don't know.
Create a poll. Create a poll this week.
Okay.
Let's see what people are saying. Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah. Okay. Fine. I'll create a poll.
Yeah. Feeling sleepy from all that climbing? Yeah.
What
Big
climbing,
man.
mate? It's been shut for 4 months.
Yeah.
Don't try and talk shit now. Yeah. It's been closed for 4 months, and now you're trying to give it all 10. Yeah. Allow it. Have you watched anything good on Netflix recently? I watched the college admission scandal.
College admission scandal? No, is that
Bro.
documentary? Obviously.
Fucking documentary, man. Yo.
Huh?
Basically,
Yeah.
anytime I watch something like that, it makes me happy to just know that I don't live in America. Honest to
Right.
God,
Okay.
it makes me so happy because I just sit here and think, man, like fuck me, that sounds horrible. So we're charged what, like $9,000 over here in the UK a year. It used to be 3, jumped up to 9, and we were outraged about it. Those guys get into hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of debt to go to college.
Standard. Yeah?
Standard, and it's like casual, and I'm like, yo, that's a lot of money, man. Even if you do the flipping conversion rate, it's still like 70 grand. Right?
Then they continue.
And it's
paying
mad,
off
and I'm
massive
like,
debts.
but they don't compute it. But the way the college admission scandal happened, essentially, I think everyone should go and watch it because the complexity behind it is unreal. There was one guy who basically got people in who were really, really rich. He managed to get their kids into college through like using a backdoor mechanism of sort of like subtle bribery and subtle ways of sponsoring and funding a university. So in America, you can make donations of like X amount of money, but the money has to be like eye-raisingly high, like $1 million. And you have to make that donation in order for you to be looked upon favorably to get into the university. That was like an old school version of it, right? But this guy was saying, I can go in there, I can make you a fake profile, I can get your kid into a fake sport because I know the coach. The coach will vie for him, and when he comes in, he just pulls out, but he gets to keep his spot. And he did this whole scheme across the whole of America numerous times. And
what was he making on it? What was he charging?
He was charging like a finder's fee of like about hundreds of thousands on top as well. So he was making bucks. But he was like flying across America throughout the whole year trying to get it sorted. And the FBI was bugging his phone essentially because they had it raised to them that he was doing this. And it was wild to just sit there and hear it. And you see all these really rich people just go through this scheme and think like it's all normal. And they're like, yeah, it's cool. I can just pay to get my kid into college. And you see like all these other kids that have just worked hard to get into that college and they don't get it. And they're like, they're taking classes that they don't enjoy simply to get extra credit to qualify for that university. And I'm like, that's insane. I would never do something like that. I get doing a subject, but it gets you the same credits at university here in England, right? You got A-levels, got to get UCAS points, and they give you a bare minimum that you have to hit. But in America, it's done by credits, and each subject is worth like 30 credits, and you have to do like 10 or 15 of those a year, and you have to sit through a bunch of classes and do homework all the time, all to get into this one university that's like an Ivy League uni. It's the same thing in England with like Russell Group and Red Brick unis, right? There's that like prestige around it. And apparently it's gotten worse with like the rise of social media and kids obviously glamorizing it more. And the admissions rate of getting in is something stupidly low. It's so low to be able to get in and pass.
But somebody must be going. I mean, even if admissions are low, you have to take somebody, no?
Yeah, people are going, but it's like, is it done through... It's a bit of a black box, isn't it? It's like, is it done through that whole funding thing where they make donations, or is it because they're actually smart enough?
On merit.
Merit,
Yeah, merit versus bribery.
But the problem is that people fund into it and they keep feeding into the problem, which is they're saying, if people stop making these donations, it wouldn't be on such a flipping high level, and then it will start coming down a little bit, admissions will start going up, and things will level out. The problem is that richer people keep making those donations, so they keep living up to it, and the university keeps accepting it because they ain't going to give it back, and the bar just gets higher and higher and higher, and it gets harder and harder to get in. And you just see all these heartbreaking stories of kids that are just like wanted to go through, and I'm like, I feel so bad for them. Like, honestly, it doesn't sound ideal. There's other colleges out there that people can go to. There's hundreds of thousands of colleges that people can go to, but the top prestige is where people want to go, right? That's the difference.
A lot of money, man. You spend your life paying that back.
Dude, America's just built on money, man. Honestly, the healthcare system, it just makes me sick. Like, it's too much, man. It's way too much. Even our friend Sergeant, who was working over there as like a medic, and he did it for like a year. He said he wanted to move there. He went there and did it. And now, I don't know if he's had second thoughts, but he saw how difficult it was to sort of turn patients away and say like, yeah, I can't treat you properly. You can get treated at like a different healthcare centre, but not here. That's got to be horrible for like a doctor that needs to do their own duty of care.
Yeah, especially for a British doctor who hasn't seen anything else. Like, our MO is you treat what comes through the door. I mean, I had an 18-year-old girl this morning I was speaking to, who's an aspiring doctor. And I asked her, I was like, so why do you want to be a doctor? And she's like, well, I want to save lives. And I was like, is that what you think we do? I was like, we do. That's a little bit of what we do. It's not what people think we do. But actually, most of what I do is have real conversations with real people, right? Like, so there's no incentive for the way I treat you in the sense that I'm not paid by drug companies. We do the best to get you the best result. That's it, right? And so from an ethical, moral point of view, it's very easy to sit into that. Whether you put the effort in, that's on the doctor's part.
Holy shit, man. I completely forgot about that, because a lot of doctors are incentivized to give people certain drugs, aren't they?
Yeah. Obviously, and this used to be a big thing. Well, it is a big thing in America. And here there used to be things like drug companies used to come to hospitals, and it doesn't happen now, as in they still come and they can sponsor lunch. But back in the day, they used to take like people on holidays, and there was like they have so much money. It's just unreal, man. But yeah, so for like someone like Sergeant, who's UK, that's what he used to, then to go to a system where it's not based on that. It's based on your insurance policy or how much wealth you have. Different, man. It's difficult. I don't know how you.
It's too much, man. It's so money focused, and the gap between the top and the bottom is getting wider and wider. So if you're in poverty, you're fully in poverty. Like, there's no real way out of it. You're just stuck, and there's no opportunities for you. It's really difficult to sort of emerge out of that. So I get it. I get why people are so, what's the word, polarizing out there. Either you're hard left or hard right, because that's what people are so focused on. The gap is so wide between normal people and regular folk that it's just become so toxic. Absolutely. And it just makes me think like, damn, I'm thinking England's going to go in that direction soon, especially with our government and how things are getting privatised and how there's less attention being given to those that are poor and that don't have many opportunities. A lot of those incentives are slowly just disappearing around us, even things like disability allowance or just benefits are just shrinking less and less and less, and it's hard to see.
Indy for Prime Minister, man.
Bro, I don't want to be Prime Minister, but
I'll train you in speaking. You got the gift, man.
Please don't. I don't want to do it, man. I don't want to do it. It sounds like a thankless job. No matter what you do, you're going to piss someone off.
I'll be your campaign manager. Right.
You'll be my campaign manager.
I'll introduce you to stage. I'll be your MC, man. See, I'm just
Don't introduce me to the stage. Don't do any of this. I'm not doing it. What I will do is I will heckle in the crowd. I'll ask them tough questions that need answering.
Right. Question time. That's where we need to go. Question time, right? Some real shit.
Question time. Go and meet your local MP or questions, which you can't do at the moment, but go and meet them and ask them questions and just see the stupidness that they give you. Because a lot of them just blag it, or they don't have the answers to any of the questions that are in your interest.
I remember the presidential debate, Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, and literally the question would be like, Mr. Trump, how do you, what is your foreign policy with regards to blah, 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 blah. And like he'd just obviously not know the answer to the question, had no content for it. He'd be like, let's look at Hillary's emails. Like, that's the response to everything. It's like, this dude isn't answering the question, man. And
he turned it into a soap opera, man, for 4 years. Yeah, he didn't do it seriously. You notice how like things have gone really quiet over there now, and people are not as focused on the things happening in America like ever since Biden's come in, because there's no polarizing figure at the top. Biden's quite liberal, but he's also not extremely liberal. Like, he's
not outspoken.
Yeah, he's not outspoken. He's not doing anything wild on Twitter. He's not firing his whole cabinet in one go. He's not shagging prostitutes or having them piss on him, like all that stuff, man. He's not doing that. He's not grabbing girls by the... Yeah. It's mad. And that guy made it to president. Anything's possible, man. Anything's possible.
Anything's possible. This
Kids, put your mind to it, and you can be whatever you want to be if you lie, cheat, and steal to the top, but you can do it.
Great success.
Great success, my friends. What's the sketch now? You're not doing anything else for this week, are you? Anything to plug? You had the clubhouse thing with Sunny. You got anything else coming up?
Not anything else coming up. No. Just winding down to the wedding now, if I'm honest.
And enjoy your time off this weekend then for Easter.
Same to you. It's good that we're shooting this podcast today. This will be our new regular shooting time going forward.
Yeah, Wednesdays or Thursdays, man. Let's go.
Absolutely. So, guys, if you're listening to this, thank you so much. But you got to subscribe. Come on, we want to do this. Indy, you heard it. Raj asked him last time, why does he want? He wants to be Joe Rogan. He wants to wake up whenever he wants to shoot podcasts.
No. You want to be Rogan. I don't want to be Rogan. I want to be Indy. Allow it. I want to be Indy.
Oh, you want to be a true, authentic self? Look at this guy.
I just want to be me. I don't want to be like Rogan or any of that. Relax.
Right, you want the lifestyle of podcasting, though, right? So, if that's going to happen, we need those subscribers to go up. We need you guys to comment, like, subscribe, share. Tell us what you want to hear. Because we're going to keep producing content. We're going to keep producing this content for you.
Yeah, man, if you want us to talk about a certain topic, just shout us and let us know. And I can probably brief Garan on it, and we can look at it and then come in the following week and talk about it. So
we've got our research team on it. Yes. Research team, aka
research team,
your missus,
Wikipedia,
my missus.
And Wikipedia.
On Wikipedia, yes.
That's it, done.
That's
Yay! Alright, cool. Talk to you next week, Garan. Cheers, man.
Take care, buddy. Bye-bye.